adding broth. So the vegetables are really starting to caramelize and release their juices. So, a rule of thumb, once again, is you're trying to get the vegetable juices to reach halfway up to the height of the vegetables. Not the height of the pan, but the height of the vegetables. Halfway up their own juices. Because you really want to give the vegetables a chance to caramelize and convert all the starches into sugars and release those amazing juices before you start to add the broth. This will help you get a more robust flavor, more character, and more interesting texture to the soup. So we're just about there. Okay, this looks good to me. We're going to go ahead and start ladling. Use a strainer, whatever you have in your house will work, and just begin to ladle the broth over. I like to add a little bit at first. Let's give it that last chance to sweat. Hands with a little bit of broth. We're going to go ahead and fill it up. Add as much or as little as you like. It'll just change the thickness of the soup. You can always thin the soup out later. More broth. Even the next day. Look at that vitamin-rich vegetable tea. When you buy it in boxes, it's $3 to $5 for organic vegetable broth. This seems much wiser. When I have it left over, I like to put it in mason jars and freeze it. Save it for any quick recipes that I might need vegetable broth for, rice, etc. I don't want to go too high because I don't want it to boil over. I think in this case I might just add more broth while I'm blending. Beautiful, perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and start spicing. You don't have to actually taste because you're not really going to taste the true flavor until it's blended. So just use your intuition at this stage and you'll adjust later. I'm adding some organic black pepper. Medium grind. Since my blender is so powerful, grind level is irrelevant. It's all going to be pulverized. Now cinnamon is one of these really interesting spices in that some spices, if you use an undetectable amount, can have subtle effects on flavor. Cinnamon can take vegetable flavors, which are clashing by my standards, and just adding a very small amount, it binds them together harmoniously. There's a serious art to using spices in an undetectable level to change the overall flavor of your food. And cinnamon is just amazing. Now this is yuzu. It's a special lime juice. It's from Tibet, but popularized in Japan. very expensive, $4 to $7 for one. I have a tree, but it's just amazing. I would describe the flavor as lime mixed with tangerine and a pine needle. If you use it in place of lime juice for any recipe, you will instantly add a gourmet kick. It's just wonderful. Everyone should have a bottle of it in their kitchen. In this case, I'm adding lime juice because it will fill in some of the blanks of the flavor palette and add a balance to the overall experience of this soup. You want to make sure that every part of your mouth has an experience. This is organic turmeric. Amazing stuff. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants. Tastes great. Very strong color. And just unbelievably good for you. Can't really add too much. So now we're just going to go ahead and stir it up and let it simmer for a while. Honestly, 10 to 20 minutes is probably fine. Really not that important. You can use your intuition. Try something different next time and see for yourself what the difference is. But you could cook it down for a long time. I would fear losing some of the vitamins. I know the pigment begins to fade away the longer you cook it. So for me, 15 minutes is plenty. You can go ahead and get out your blender, your chinois, and that's what you're going to need for the next step.